Well, it is freezing cold in Humboldt County this week, but it is red hot on campus with your Cal Poly Humboldt Lumberjacks. Coach DJ Broome and Michelle Bento-Jackson, they are swinging by for their weekly visits as it is just hot and heavy with hoops. The women punching their ticket to the postseason tournament for the first time since 2020. The men, well, they're right in the swing of things. They are number 3 in the conference. Plus, we're going to hit the diamonds. We're talking softball, hitting the track. All right here, today's edition of Humboldt All-Axess.
All
Joined by head coach DJ Broome of the Cal Poly Humboldt Lumberjacks. Coach, homestand, no shortage of excitement. I assume the Jacks are coming out of it with confidence. You take the number 2 team in the nation to overtime, and then you get a much-needed win against San Francisco State. And with 4 to play, you're controlling your own destiny.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think we come out with some confidence, like you said, and some things to improve on and continue to get better at. Obviously, if you cut down on the turnovers against East Bay, you feel like that's a game you come out on top. So, yeah, got to take care of the ball, got to rebound the ball, but overall it was a pretty good homestand for us.
When you look at the stat sheet, forget that. When you're trying to remedy what went wrong that you see on the stat sheet, is it as simple as, hey, we got to fix this? Because if you focus on one thing, you know, maybe, and I don't know, I'm just asking, struggle in other areas or lose focus on other things?
Yeah, with us, it depends on the game, right? Stanislaus was all about rebounding. East Bay was all about turnovers. So there's some key factors that contribute to when we're playing well or not playing well. And usually it's one of those 2 things. Are we rebounding the basketball, and are we taking care of the basketball? Offensively, we've been good. The assist totals have been about where you want them to be, so there's no complaints there. So it's really just limited how many times you give them the ball without getting a shot.
Okay, when the Jacks are turning it over too much, is it a case of careless with the basketball or something you think teams are doing? Because obviously now they're going to see that and they're going to, you know, try to incur turnovers on the Jacks.
Yeah, East Bay does a good job pressuring, but really they're just mental mistakes. Lack of execution on the offensive end, trying to do too much with the ball for no reason, making a home run or highlight pass instead of keeping it simple. So those are usually the key contributors to when we're turning the ball over. But yeah, we got to find a way to keep that number, you know, in the 12 range, and we'll be pretty good on those nights.
When you go out and you recruit a kid who's 6'11" and his nickname is Shaq, I imagine double-doubles like you had against San Francisco State is what you envision, and it's got to be nice to have that tool in your coaching toolbox.
Yeah, no, I think he's in a really good place, probably the best he's been all season. I think when you watch him out there, he's smiling, he has some pop, he looks like he's having fun and enjoying it, and when he does that, he's a really talented player. Obviously, such a huge human being, a lot to deal with for anyone, but he was really good for us this weekend. Like you said, a double-double in both games, controlled the glass, was really good defensively, and then I think when he does those 2 things, the offense takes care of itself. So looking for him to continue to kind of have that impact in this home stretch, and that'll be really good for the Jacks.
I guess a question I'm sure you've addressed with your guys and your coaches, how do the Jacks be consistent and consistently at their best? Because clearly when these guys are good, they're great, but there's other times too. You know, it looks like maybe the team we saw against Dominican.
Yeah, I think it's part of it's our approach. You know, how do we come into the game? Where's our mindset at? Where's our effort level at? We struggled to get out the gates with strong starts. That's kind of been a constant thing for us this year. So talking about playing with the lineup a little bit, making some adjustments in what we run and how we're doing things to try to get us out the gates a little quicker. But yeah, when our mind is right, we're playing together, when we're having fun, when the bench is involved and engaged, we're pretty hard to beat.
All right, with 4 games to go before what is hopefully the conference tournament, you guys are in a great position for that. Is it, okay, what we need to do over this 4-game stretch, or is it, you know, the old adage, 1 game at a time?
It's 1 game at a time with kind of some outlook on the big picture. Obviously, you're watching other conferences and where teams stand and still keeping your hopes alive to get into the regional. So you win these 4 and you end up in the championship game of the conference tournament, you feel like you'd have a pretty good case. But to do that, like you said, it's 1 game at a time. So got to take care of Bernardino on Thursday, and then we'll keep moving forward from there.
So at this point, it's not even, I mean, obviously you win the conference tournament, you're automatically in. So it's really about building the resume to get an at-large berth?
Well, 100%. I mean, that's the goal going into the season, is to make the NCAA tournament. And we've shot ourselves in the foot a little bit here and there on what our resume looks like, but there's still a fighting chance. And like you said, you're in a good spot. So we're in third alone. We want to end up on that side of the bracket. We've talked about that for the conference tournament. And if we win games, that's exactly what will happen. So.
All right, you're taking on San Bernardino on the road, a team that Wayne got the buzzer beater, and then Pomona, a team that took you to overtime. And of course, the matchup zone is interesting for what it's worth. Your thoughts on the road trip?
Big road trip. I mean, traditionally, really, really difficult road trip to really good teams. Obviously, it was chippy and intense here versus Bernardino. So I'm expecting a lot of the same as they try to get their get back. And both teams are really in that pact of could get in, could not get in. So obviously there'll be a high level of desperation and they'll be ready to play. So we need to definitely pack our A game and bring our defensive, slide our feet and be ready to be physical. But two tough opponents, and I'm confident we'll be ready to play.
I assume guys get excited when you're going to see a team that it was chippy against, and obviously you got the better of them, so they might have a little more chip on their shoulders, so you really got to bring the juice on Thursday.
100%. They'll be excited, ready for Burn. I think it's game of the week this week, so that speaks for itself. And then I think versus Pomona, obviously, I would say we took them to overtime because they had built such a big lead, and we're having to fight back.
Down 22 in that.
Yep. So got to get off to a better start. Got to execute at a higher level and not get trapped in the matchup zone of just launching a bunch of threes and not putting any pressure on them in the paint. But like I said, I like where our guys' heads are at. Had a good day of practice, and we'll be ready to go.
Well, Coach, I think I speak on behalf of the fans, and I know we got a long way to go. This has been fun, so thank you and keep it up.
My voice says otherwise, but yeah.
And all those gray hairs.
Yeah, we're popping out. But no, entertaining basketball, and that's what it's about. And like I said, we'll continue to build, and I'm excited to where the program and this team is heading.
He's DJ Broome, head coach of the Lumberjacks, on the road this week. Back after this. Pleasure to be joined by Michelle Bento-Jackson, head coach of the Lumberjack ladies basketball team. Coach, winners of 4 straight in the Jacks, if last weekend's any indication, hitting your stride at the right time. Your thoughts on how well the Jacks, or at least how well I thought the Jacks played last weekend?
Well, I did think Thursday night against East Bay was possibly our best game that we've played this year on both ends of the floor. Obviously, it's always better when you make shots. But just our energy and our intensity, I felt like was at a different level. I thought the girls did a tremendous job of sustaining that for 40 minutes and certainly a lot to just have confidence and motivate us to moving forward.
It's wild how quickly things can change. Even this late in the season, you had that just really tough road trip at LA and Dominguez Hills. And then I called it the kind of the blue-collar work trip to salvage the split. And then it was just, that East Bay game, that was an efficient beatdown. That was, take your analogy, but it's, a sports car hitting on all cylinders.
It really was. And I just felt like, again, it all started with our energy. We got contribution from multiple players. It was truly a team win. And as I told the girls, what they should learn from that is when we play with that type of level of intensity and energy, good things are bound to happen. I didn't think we sustained it quite so well on Saturday for 40 minutes. I felt like we were really up and down and just not the same as we were on Thursday. And as I told the team, that's just not something that I should be talking about this time of year. We just got to really be more consistent in certain areas.
How do you be consistent? Because it's easier said than done. Teams just don't hit one level and stay that all year. Any sport, take your time. And you look at just the last 3 weeks from your team. They've been across the board, and really you've got 3 weeks guaranteed left. How do you sustain so it can turn into a 4th week of basketball?
Well, again, obviously it's great that we've clinched and we're in the conference tournament, and the girls deserve that, and they worked their butts off to put themselves in that position. But as I told them yesterday, we got to stay in the present. We have 4 games left here in the regular season, and not even thinking about the conference tournament at this point. And, we're still trying to be, as I say, the best version of ourselves. That was great that we were at East Bay, but at this time of year, it needs to be every single game consistently.
It's kind of a weird spot. Most likely you're going to be the 3 or the 4 seed when it comes down. And granted, you win all 4 and you never know what happens. These are teams you've beaten again. But at the same token, too, if you could kind of lollygag your way in and then slip up in the opening round of the tournament, and just like that, it's all over. So you really do need to find a way to stay sharp with maybe not that much on the line until March.
Absolutely. And, on Saturday, I think we had a 19-point lead with like 4.5 minutes left, and we lost that lead really quickly. And those are moments that we've had these conversations before. We've been in these situations before, and you learn from those in, November and December. And we got to be executing just better in those situations. So, again, good film session yesterday, good learning moment. And when the girls come out with great energy, I have a lot of confidence in them.
San Bernardino probably too good of a team for me to say a trap game, but clearly that Pomona game is huge. And I would assume San Bernardino is a tough team to prepare for. Just when I saw them here, they play 13 players, and hey, who's their go-to person? I don't know, because when you play 13, there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, and they certainly, I think they have balance between all three areas, to be honest with you. They have an inside presence. They have the top three-point shooter in the conference, arguably. She's made the most threes in the conference in Sadov, and then they have hard drivers. So they're going to be home. They know that things aren't guaranteed for them at this point in time, and so they're hungry on a different level. And so it's February, man. It's February. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. We just got to come a certain way every single game.
Okay, well, you won't probably need to give a speech before the girls before Pomona, because it's the top team in the conference, and they've got one blemish in conference, and that was to your Lumberjacks. You know they're going to want a piece of you in exact revenge on Saturday.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm going to say the same thing, regardless if it's San Bernardino or it's Pomona. I just want us playing what I would just say Humboldt. We have a certain brand that we want to represent and a certain way that we want to play. And when we do that consistently, I'll put us up against anybody. But again, the key word that you hear me saying a lot right now is the word consistent. And, hopefully we can go on the road here and just give us a lot of confidence as we end the regular season.
And the recognition coming down as well. Jordan Smith, your freshman sensation, she picks up Player of the Week honors. And I mean, if I'm on your team, it's a tough crowd. I mean, Shade is about to break the steals record, and her teammates getting the nod, which is well deserved, of course. But I think it's a testament to your team coach of how many players you have doing big things.
Absolutely, and I've always been, when you have one person, averaging all these points, and then there's a big drop off. I never think that's a great sign of just being a team, basically. And, when we can have balance and contribution from everybody, that's just going to make any team that much stronger. And Jordan is, like you said, well deserving of the CC2A Player of the Week. I'm really happy for her and just her maturation and her progress throughout this year. And I'm glad she's getting recognition for it.
Talk about how she rebounded, because during that losing streak, she kind of hit a lull. And clearly she is playing her best basketball coming off this last weekend. Was it a conversation with her? Did she just hit a rough spot, freshman being a freshman?
Maybe a little bit of everything.
Okay.
These seasons are longer for these freshmen, and the demands of 2 games per week and getting through the season with the same type of mentality all the time it can be taxing, especially when you've never gone through it before. And yeah, she had, if you want to call it that, little bit of a lull, but for the 99% of this season, she's been pretty doggone consistent. So she well deserves this.
Coach, thank you and good luck on a tough road trip this weekend.
All right, thanks, JB.
There she is, Michelle Bento-Jackson, back after these messages. Honored to be joined by Marissa Brody of the Humboldt softball team, the world-traveling Lumberjacks. Marissa, first off, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right, Tam's looking pretty solid. How was Hawaii?
It was fun.
Yeah?
It was good, yeah. We didn't necessarily get all the outcomes we wanted, but we learned a lot, and I think we'll get better going forward.
All right, before we get to the softball side of it,
Yeah.
what are you thinking today when you wake up and it's hailing sideways and I looked at my weather app, it says 43, feels 29. It's a long way from Hawaii.
Yeah, long way from Hawaii. I was freezing all night. I missed the sun, yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Nice.
Well, you went from LA to
Yeah.
Hawaii, right?
Yeah,
How many days were you girls gone?
10.
Okay, I mean, I gotta ask, how do you pack for a trip like that? And does coach, are you limited? Like way back when I played football, you had the Humboldt bag and it better all fit in there. Are you guys limited by school issued luggage, or can you bring your own
No,
stuff?
she said we could bring a suitcase if we wanted
Okay.
to. I brought my duffel, but some of the girls brought huge suitcases, but it was good. We got to do laundry a lot, so
That's
that
good.
was nice.
And it's probably good you didn't have a trip like Vancouver, because then you would need to bring more clothes, because jackets was probably
Yep.
smart you did Hawaii. Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about actual softball. You girls have been on part of a 25-game road trip to open the season. Give me some of the highlights and the lowlights.
I mean, the highlight was probably just playing in Hawaii and getting to be in the sun. Lows, I think that we're just still learning how to mesh together as a team and we're figuring it out. But yeah, it's just getting better as we go. So,
You know, it's funny talking to DJ earlier in the year, and he hated the fact they had 7 road games to open the season. But he's like, you know what? These guys are trial by fire. They're getting to know each other. I imagine with your teammates on the road that long, you ladies are probably bonding a little quicker than you would be if you were in the comforts of your own place.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, and we went from LA to Hawaii, and then we also went to a different island in Hawaii, so we got to switch roommates and be with a bunch of different people.
Now, how does that work? Does coach select who you're rooming with, or
Yes.
do you get to select who you're
No,
rooming with?
coach picks it all. Normally we are with someone from a different class too.
Okay, so that's going to be fun. So who were some of your roommates on the trip?
I was with Riley Banks, she's a freshman. I was with Shelby right there. Bob, Lauren, she's a freshman. Yeah. Oh, and Lily, freshman pitcher.
And you obviously don't strike me as a freshman. So are you doing some little teaching, upperclassmen to these young ladies, or what?
I try, yeah. I'm only a sophomore, so I'm still learning.
Well,
but-
in today's day and age, that's elder shade. You've
Yeah.
been through the ropes. You've seen
Yes.
it, and I'm sure it helps because you've done it for Coach Correa too. So she
Yes.
knows, and she doesn't have to coach up the youngsters of how we travel. Lets you do that.
Yes, yeah, definitely helping them out, but they're all good. We have a good group of freshmen.
Let's talk about your game. Drew's telling me you're out there just slugging the ball around the yard. 540, I think, on the road trip for those keeping track. Tell us about your game and how you're hitting the ball so well.
I don't know. I think that right now my role is mostly just DP and getting hits for the team, so I'm just kind of focusing on that and getting as many runs in as I can. Yeah.
Look, I was never good at baseball or softball, take your pick. I said there's so much like urgency in a sport that usually the numbers say most likely you're going to fail at that time. How do you, especially if the pressure's on, hey, Marissa, we need you to go out there and get hits. How do you just be present in that moment, and what would you say is the key to being a good hitter?
I just try and stay calm. I know, like when we're warming up, I don't overthink. I kind of just get my body loose and kind of just do what I've been training and doing at practice. Yeah, I don't know, just kind of just going into the box with a clear mind and being calm.
How much is knowing the scout on the pitcher? How much is knowing yourself, and how much is what the coaches are telling you?
I think it depends on the team. For the Hawaii schools, we didn't have that much like film or knowledge on the pitchers. So you kind of just have to go with what you see, and I'm like normally a little bit lower in the lineup, so I get to talk to the first 4 batters and get to see what they saw, and that always helps. But kind of just have to adjust in the moment and work with it as the game goes on.
You guys have kind of had a mixed bag between the wins and the losses as the season progresses. How do you turn to hopefully getting more wins than losses?
I think we just have to focus more on our defense. We've been really strong offensively. We have a lot of older girls that are doing really well. We just need to tighten up our defense and work behind our pitchers, and I think we'll be good.
Now, you've been at first base, you've been in the outfield, 2 very drastically different positions for defense. Preferences and just mindset on either one. Because I imagine if I was playing the outfield at some point, like I'm counting daisies, looking at the birds, at first base, you better pay attention. Right?
Yeah, very different. I played outfield before I came here, so it's definitely like in me deep down, but definitely been newer, working on it, practicing it a lot. But yeah, I don't know, it's been going good.
All right, you went to Casa Grande, you're a Sonoma County girl, I'm a Sonoma
Yes.
County guy. Talk about that transition of what it's like being in Humboldt, and when you're not softball, you're not hitting the books, what do you like to do in your free time?
I'm with my family a lot, with my friends a lot, go to the beach, hike, similar to here, honestly, yeah.
So you've adjusted well.
Yes.
All right, where's the road trip at next?
We have this weekend off, and then we're going to Tracy next week.
Are you ever coming home?
Not till like the 3rd week of March.
All right, well, hopefully the weather will be better. Hey, Marissa, appreciate you stopping by, and keep slamming that ball around the yard, okay?
Thank you.
Marissa, Brody right here. It is Humboldt All-Axess. last but definitely not least, Brielle Jimerson. I just think about Jimmer Fredette, but nonetheless, I love the name Brielle, to say the least. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking some time here.
Thank you for having me.
And I know time is of the essence with you running the 200 and 400. You competed in Michigan this last week?
Yes, sir.
All right, how did you do?
I did really well, especially as a team. I think that we did really well as well. We broke the school record for indoor, and I hit a PR for the 400.
Boom. And so the record was the 4x4?
Yes.
Okay, and then you PR'd in the 200?
I PR'd in the 400.
Okay, and you ran the 200, the 400, and the relay?
Yes, sir.
All in the same day?
No, it was split up into 2 days. So
Okay.
I ran 3 400s in total for the weekend, Friday and Saturday.
That sounds exhausting.
It is exhausting.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since I've done much of track and field, but the 400 technically is a sprint, right?
It is a sprint. You're right.
How do you sprint for one whole lap?
I don't even know. Sometimes I forget and I'm just running.
And 3 times in one weekend.
Yes.
Plus your 200. I mean, the 200 ain't exactly, just a walk in the park. I mean, that's
No, it's
half a
not.
lap, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is. Just a little.
How do you pace yourself?
Well, for the 400, I try to pace myself with the person who's in first to second. So I like to place myself at third. And then quite towards like the 150,
Okay.
I just give it all I have left and hopefully pass the person who's in front of me.
Now, have you scouted, or are you aware of what you can expect out of the runners? Do you have an idea of who you think is going to be in first or second, and that's why you have your eye on them, or you're just, when you make that turn, you're like, okay, here's who I got to track down?
Well, definitely all the runners are a wild card. You never
Okay.
know how fast they're going to run, especially if they just go out. It's definitely different for each person, but I try to pace myself around, for the first 200, around 28 seconds to 27.9, 27.7, and then for the last, I try to just give
Everything
it
you
all,
got, right?
everything
Just
that I
pedal
have
to the
left.
metal.
Yes.
And then when you look at your times, the first one you ran, the second one you ran, the third one, how different are those times?
For the first 200, it's around I look out for the first 200 for 28, just to keep myself alive for the last 200.
Little gas in the tank?
Yeah, just whatever I have left, honestly. And for the 200, there's really no pacing. You
It's
just have
just
to
all.
go. Yes.
Now, how many 200s did you run over the weekend?
I only ran one.
Oh, okay. Well, easy peasy, right? Talk about the relay team and the record-setting performance that you ladies had.
Oh man, we did amazing. I'm so proud of my team, and I mean we absolutely demolished that. I wasn't even expecting for all of us to run that fast, honestly. But Caitlin, Issa, and Coco, I mean they shocked me. We did. I'm so proud of them, especially as a team. We worked so hard for this, so I'm excited to what we bring to outdoor season.
Talk about what leg do you run in it, and then just it's such an individual sport. How much fun is it to be part of a team for that?
Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. I am the second leg. It goes Caitlin, I, and Coco, and Issa.
Okay. So what's the strategy on that? Is it the same? Are you trying to keep people in your distance? Because it's totally different, right? You may have the lead, you may be well off the lead. So how do you adjust and strategize on the relay opposed to the individual?
Well, for the 4x4, it's about the same, but Caitlin brought it home for us. I mean, for the first lap, she's our first leg, so she killed it in the first leg, and then we just try to set a pace for second to first. But I was running in second for the second leg, and just pacing off of the first leg.
And then the last two behind you, they're just going to take it home, right? Just
Yes.
keep it
Yes.
close. And then what's it like cheering on that last leg, knowing that you guys are going to take home the top spot? And when did you realize you were on a possible record-breaking performance as a team?
For when I saw Coco just get out of there, I mean, I didn't even see her run the first lap. She just flew by, and then I screaming for my team, whatever breath I have left. I mean, it's just overall shocking and mind-blowing how fast those girls are. I mean, they're incredible.
Now, Brielle, you talked about excited for what you're going to do in outdoor season. So how much is indoor season about gearing up for a big spring?
Man, it's just seeing where we're at. It's just a placement of how far we're gonna come for outdoor. I mean, we train so hard, and it's not an easy sport, so I'm really excited to see what we can bring to the table for outdoor. I really hope that we can get at least 349.
Smoking, to say the least. Okay, Brielle, tell us about yourself. Why Humboldt, and how did you end up here?
I mean, why not? It's so beautiful here.
That's true.
It's definitely different from where I grew up.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm from San Diego,
Nice
so
area.
I'm more of a city girl, but I mean, this place is absolutely magical. I love nature, so it definitely caught my eye from
Nice
the
little
first
balance.
time. Yeah, it's very beautiful here.
And what are you
I love
studying?
it. I'm a criminology major.
Woo! Fast. She's going to track you criminals down. I love it. Hey, Brielle, great job.
Thank you.
There we go, making her debut, and we got her to take her time on this one and not sprint off the airwaves. Want to thank you for another great edition of Humboldt All-Axess.